ladies and gentlemen, to the Stage Dive Podcast. My name is Steve, and we're here with another album review. Today's album is known as Black Anima by Lacuna Coil. Lacuna Coil is a band from Milan, Italy. They are considered gothic metal, but they have elements of new metal as well as alternative metal, depending on the record or certain songs. They formed in 1994 and released their 9th studio album on October 11th, 2019 through BRX Studio. Why am I reviewing Black Anima in 2020? Well, I was supposed to see them live on May 5th, 2020, but as you all already know, each and every show is cancelled, so why not? Also, it's the first album I'm reviewing with a female vocalist. It's pretty cool. The personnel on this record consists of Andrea Ferro on vocals, Marco Cotizzelati on bass, keyboards, and guitar, Cristina Scabbia on vocals, Diego Cavallotti, also known as Didi, on guitars, and Richard Mays on drums. The album art consists of what seems to be a large coin or token, if you will, and the background is bloodshot red. There is a B on the left side of the token and an A on the right, representing the initials of the album title. They are also written in what seems to be a foreign alphabet. There is a dragon wrapping around Lacuna Coil's logo while eating an angel. Now, this seems like a different view of St. Michael's battle against the dragon, and that St. Michael lost. You all know already how I rate album tracks, but I'm going to say it again. Pretty much each song is marked out of 1, and I mark them quarterly, tally up the points, and we get a percentage. First track, known as Mineta. I love the electronic gothic sound they used to introduce the album. Cristina is using a higher pitch vocal range than usual. Very eerie. I love the outro. It's sung in Italian. Very trippy, horror influenced. It is a good way to start the record. Lyrics. The individual enjoys bathing in the darkness of their own thoughts. What will remain of their black soul? 1 out of 1. Track 2. Sword of Anger. Andrea begins with his harsh vocals on this track, and it goes right into a classic LC feel. LC, Lacuna Coil. Definitely gothic. I love how Andrea goes between his harsh and cleans. The chorus is very addictive, especially the way Cristina sings. You could consider it a breakdown song. Cristina can really hit some great high notes on this song. Also, the instrumental blends well. Lyrics. It gets confusing. They start off by saying we are the anima. So are they the darkness that will overpower sanity? Or are they living in darkness and fighting through it? This track got 1 out of 1. Track 3, Reckless. Odd sounding intro, I like it. Nice guitar riff in the verses. I love the addition of the pre-verse. It worked really well on this track. The chorus pierces through the skin, especially when Cristina hits that high note. Andrea does a good job with the background growls. Nice solo addition, very silky. Bass and drums blend well with each other. Lyrics. Frustration with whatever it may be that causes the individual to finally explode and become reckless. Get it? Reckless? Track title. 1 out of 1. Track 4. Layers of Time. Nice breakdown intro with Mr. Andreas and his vocals. Verses slightly punk influenced. Great instrumentals, especially in the pre-chorus. The chorus hits that goth vibe. Decent bridges. I do enjoy the energy of this song. Lyrics. Constantly living the same storyline that's full of pain, and it just piles up through time like layers. It got 1 out of 1. Track 5, Apocalypse. Back to that old school Lacuna Coil. Love the bass guitar from the start. Good work. The drums fit in well with the bass, quite majestic. Vocally, decent duo on this track. I like the nice soothing solo. It seems like it's the end of time and humans are providing false hope for each other, knowing that chaos has won and it's time for eternal rest. 1 out of 1. Track 6, Now or Never. Great use of the double pedal and fills in this intro. Amazing guitar work, very well structured song. The chorus is definitely gothic metal driven. The bridge is captivating. Vocally and instrumentally really ranks the song on top of the pedestal. I would 100% recommend Lacuna Coil fans to show others this particular song as a request for this record. Lyrics. The individual is overcoming negative times and can relapse at any moment, but will fight to overcome the pain. 1 out of 1. Track 7. Under the Surface. Hunting harsh vocals from Andreas. Upbeat delivery from the instrumentals. I like how they mastered the blend of gothic metal with metalcore elements. Christina does her impressive vocal transitions throughout the song. Smart move to add a miniature solo. Slightly above average song though. Lyrics. Hiding behind a mask. Simple as that. 0.75 out of 1. Track 8. Beneficium. Church-like intro, right into a fucking breakdown, baby. And it glides right into that goth feel. I like how Andreas sings the verses. The chorus is average though. Solo works well with the theme of the song, but in my opinion, this song is slightly too long. Lyrics. The deterioration of self to satisfy another. 0.5 out of 1. Track 9. The End Is All I See. Good gothic intro with slight programming. Interesting use of the bass on this track. Guitars and drums are doing their part pretty well. Very Twilight vibe. It's odd but satisfying. Nice dual vocal work. Lyrics. Their time on earth is done. Simple as it can be. 1 out of 1. Track 10. Save Me. Alternative chorus. Definitely an alternative chorus. Fair use of the instruments, but you can tell that this song was made for a single. Basic song structure. I did not feel like it was leading anywhere. The solo kept this song alive. The bridge is quite sad lyrically. And we're jumping into the lyrics. Stuck in the pit of depression. 0.25 out of 1. The final track, track 11, Black Anima. Good use of programming and keyboards. That's what kept this song interesting for me. I felt that the instruments could have provided more. Vocally, it was slightly above average. Lyrics. Collectively destroy the self-hatred and reboot your system. This song got 0 out of 1. As I tally up the points, I got 8.5 out of 11, which equals a 77%. This album deserves a 77%. Why? Well, because I love the experimentation, especially with Christina hitting those high notes. She really challenged herself with her vocal ability. I noticed that a good amount of songs start off with Andreas with his harsh vocals. It seemed like that was a theme on this record. On this particular album, it has to be absorbed. It's not an album where you could just sit and play through it to understand it. You have to sit down and analyze it. A good amount of skill is going on. I've seen Lacuna Coil live several times, but majority of the time they were opening acts. The last show I've seen them live was them actually headlining. It was a decent crowd. It was at the Corona Theater, and they did a good performance. Very active. I actually got into Lacuna Coil when they opened up for All That Remains back in 2009. That's when Shadow Life was released. Their shows, like I said, they're entertaining, and I like how they interact with the crowd. And also, the band started to wear makeup and costume, which provides a horror shock value. Very entertaining. It's more observant than actual pitting, but when the heavier songs do begin, the crowd doesn't feel to perform. And what's nice about Lacuna Coil is that they attract fans of all ages, from kids to older adults. And honestly, they never fail to perform instrumentally and vocally. I really like how Christina and Andrea work so well together, and the rest of the band provides some very good written material. Honestly, I always say this, I hope to see Lacuna Coil live soon, because I was going to, but unfortunately the virus has stopped society. And I was really excited because it's been a while. I'd like to say that Lacuna Coil, please come back to Canada. I'd love to see your work live again. You always do such a great job and never fail to perform. Thank you all for listening to the Stage Dive podcast. My name is Steve. This was the Lacuna Coil Black Anima album review. I would like to remind you all to stay punk and stay metal, and you better be reckless. Cheer!